Welcome to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast. We're here to have honest conversations about how to follow Jesus and parent kids in a whole person way. For more content and encouragement as we support you on your journey, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. We're so glad you're here. Now let's jump in. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Whole Person Parenting Podcast. We're so grateful that you guys would join us today.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2026.
Yes.
It's going to be a great year. My dad made us all do like the 2026 bingo cards where you all have to figure out like what your goals are for the year, which I don't usually do New Year's resolutions. I usually think they're stupid.
Do you?
But I was kind of forced to do it.
I didn't know that.
I think I'm thankful for it because I have a lot of goals this year and they're on paper, so I have to do them.
Yeah, they're more like goal setting. So I guess it's just...
Usually I just go into the new year, I'm just like, it's just another year.
Yeah. I usually have like a New Year's resolution. Yeah,
but
this one is... Yeah, this is like
it's
whole...
like 24 or something.
Yeah, whatever the down and across is. Anyway, we'll look at it like at the end of the year and see what we did.
And if you get like a bingo, you get some sort of prize or something, right?
Apparently
we get some sort of prize.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what. I like playing for prizes.
Yeah.
So
well, yes, that's true.
I will do that.
I have no idea what his idea of the prize is.
I don't know. It could be something really lame. Could be
or really great.
I
don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So with the new year, we are starting a new series, which we have not done a series before.
Nope.
We've just done individual episodes.
Yeah.
But as we were planning the new year,
Yeah.
we thought this would be a great way to start it off and to, it's going to be great. So the series is called Are We There Yet?
Yep. Are we there yet?
Are We There Yet? Which is a fun series name. And I don't know. How did you come up with that series name? You said, because you just came downstairs. I just went downstairs one day and you were like, listen to this idea I had.
Yeah. Well,
and
I mean, I think probably it derives from being a parent.
Yeah.
for one thing. Just that feeling of like, I don't know. Sometimes you have the moments in parenting where it's like, wow, time is flying by and I can't believe, you're already 1 year old or I can't believe you're already, 10 or whatever. But then there are also the times whenever it's like, when are you going to be older are we ever getting past this?
Yeah.
Are we ever getting beyond this stage or this stage seems like it's lasting forever? And, and so, so that's kind of what made me think of it. Like, are we getting past this? And then like, that's like the classic line of like, are we there yet? Whenever you're on these like road trips. And so I just think about like, development goes in really one direction, most of the time, like barring some.
Life is a highway.
Nice.
Ride it on. It's like that idea. It's like life is a journey.
Yeah, life is a journey.
So cringy.
Life's a journey, not a destination.
Oh no,
that was another song.
Was another song?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, and then there was that like I don't know when this was made, 2000s movie with Ice Cube in it.
Yeah, I didn't remember this whenever you said that. It was
Me
probably
and
a time when I was like in the thick of parenting.
Watched it one time, and the little girl in it is Coco Jones, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, like the singer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I could be wrong about that. That might not be right.
Don't come for us.
But I'm pretty sure
if Presley's wrong about that.
But she does a little song in it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Like, is she
I have
like
not
a
seen
kid
this
at
movie
that
in
time?
years. She's a child, yeah.
Okay.
Probably like 5th grade.
Okay.
But it's like a crazy movie. But there you go on a journey. And it's like, are we there yet?
Yeah. It's that. Yeah, the kid's riding in the back seat.
Yes.
Like, are we there yet?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, any kid who hasn't uttered those words
I never recalled
on a road trip.
Those words.
I don't know. I feel like you had to have said that at some point. Or like, when are we getting there or whatever. But yeah, that's really where it came from, was just thinking about the journey of parenting and those times whenever you feel like, I'm not getting, like, are we ever getting out of this stage? And then I think that kind of led me down the path of thinking about child development. So that's really what our series is going to be about, is about child development and development from infancy all the way through transitional age, which would be like early 20s. And, all of the parenting ups and downs and all of the developmental, implications, maybe not all of them, but some of the developmental implications that are around parenting there. Because whenever, from like a mental health perspective, we always want to think about development first, because we never want to.
And there are like pretty distinct developmental stages, correct?
Yes, there are developmental stages. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that like Piaget, or is it broken up more into?
Well, they're different.
Is it from his are we looking at it from Piaget's like
Piaget or Erickson? Yeah, they're different. They're different theorists who they have different, like theoretical frameworks for development.
Is that more? Is that like the modern way of thinking about development now, or do we still think about it in that way? Okay.
Yeah. And then we think about. So it depends on what you're thinking about, whether what area of development you're considering.
Yes.
And so we'll touch on various areas, because there are really 5 developmental domains. There's obviously the physical one, which I think is what most people think about.
Right. You're growing,
right.
Like physically growing.
Yes.
You're going to get taller. You're going to get bigger.
You go to the doctor.
You start not looking like every other child.
Right.
Like like how babies all look the same.
Yeah. Presley. I don't really think that's true.
They look the same to me. Yeah, I know. They all look the same.
Yeah. So, yes. I guess essentially they look very similar to one another.
Different. They start looking
distinct,
different. A little bit more distinct features.
But you go to the doctor and they measure their head and they measure their length and they measure their weight. And they're like, you're in the, 30th percentile for your weight and you're in the 60th percentile.
I always
for
prided
your height.
myself on going to the doctor and figuring out what percentile I was in.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't even know if I think at one point I was like 98th percentile for height, which I think is 100% a lie, because I am very average
you grew
height.
Like early.
I know, but I just stayed 5'5".
Well,
I'm just still the same height.
I'm so sorry. That's my fault.
Because you just had to be short.
Yeah, little insider information. Her dad's like 6'3" and I'm like 5
foot. 5 foot flat.
5 foot flat. So she could only get so far with this. But yeah, so
there's
you got the physical development.
Yes.
You've got emotional development, social development. That's like how you get along with others. You've got cognitive development. That's like the thinking. And then you've got speech and language development. And that's obviously, understanding and expressing language.
Right. And so they all play in each different stage. Like those 5 domains progress through each stage, right?
Yeah. They look different at different stages. And what's interesting too is that they don't all develop
simultaneously.
Simultaneously, they can be like, you can have one area that's a little more developed than you are in another area. And so we have like these ideas about milestones, and they are considered milestones that follow a certain kind of trajectory for time, but that doesn't, there's also like, a range in that, like what could be expected at a given age. It's an age range. And so you might be a little later, you might be a little early.
And that's where we get like late and early bloomers, like that kind of phrase.
Yeah.
So then that means that like there can be, I don't know, like maybe that can bring more clarity to like, you don't have to be like I don't know, because you talked about like milestones, right? So these expectations of what a child should be or where a child should be.
Yes.
Especially if you've got I don't know, like a 5-foot fourth grader, you know what I'm saying? And you're thinking, okay, well, like maybe socially, he should be at a certain stage, but maybe he's really shy. Maybe he doesn't like talking to kids or like, you know what I'm saying? And so then you have these expectations of what it should
a kid
be
that
at.
size,
but
should
when
be
really,
acting like,
really there's a range, which is what you're talking about. Like there's a range of those sorts of things.
Yes.
It's not just a straight linear progression.
Yeah.
You know.
And there are things that can get in the way of development. There are things that can enhance development. And so even talking about, the importance of the parent-child relationship when it comes to development. So like development doesn't happen well if there's not a strong parent-child relationship. Okay. Like it can't.
What kind of, are there like any examples like in your work that you've seen like how that plays out? Like if there isn't a strong parent-child relationship, what are some of the like potential drawbacks, or like how does that play out?
Well, I mean the biggest one, like the most like detrimental, like kind of the worst case would be when there's neglect, like there's not caregiving of the child. So this could be like basic needs. That could look like the child's underweight, or they're failure to thrive. Yeah. However, you can also have failure to thrive if there's not nurturance, or there's not like comfort and care being given for like a baby. So there's this quote,
like if you were to just like leave a baby crying in a like instead of going to it.
Yeah. And then so there's this quote that says that there's no such thing as a baby, there's a baby in someone. And that means like quite literally, like babies cannot survive independent of a caregiver. They are completely dependent on them. And so we'll talk more about that infancy stage and that, like the attachment piece of that. But that's one of the biggest aspects of the importance of the relationship, is that the baby has to have someone, the child has to have someone who's there supporting the developmental progression, or else they don't learn it. So another example, if you go to like a school-age child, if you have a school-age child who goes to school and no one has ever read a book to them. Okay. They've never seen a book. They've never experienced that. They don't know how to open a book and turn the page from, right to left.
So the things that we would think as like common sense, that's just how it's done. Like we never, I don't remember learning how to open a book.
Right.
So, but we have to realize that, I don't know, it's like seeing it through their eyes that makes so much sense. Like, of course they would never know how to open a book. They've never seen it. They've never done it. Yeah. Like that makes sense.
And they wouldn't know that you read the letters, you read the sentences from
right to left.
Well, from left to right. You turn the page right to left, you read left to right.
Yes.
And you read down the page.
Yeah.
In English, right? Like this is how you do this. But this is because, when you were young, we started very early reading to you, and we sat with you and we opened the book, and then you started turning the pages. Yeah. And then whenever we started reading, we pointed to the words and we showed you how to. It. Yeah. But that was through the experience of our relationship, not like us explicitly saying, Presley, when you open a book, you do it like this. Yeah. We just did it together.
We did it together. Okay. Well, and because we had a good relationship, reading was now an enjoyable experience too. Right. And something I wanted to do. And I love to read now. Like, that's one of my favorite things.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. So you can see how that, just an example is like, that only happens if there is a supporting person there who you're in a close relationship with, who can do that over and over and over again, so that you can learn these things through the experience of the relationship.
And maybe it's kind of even hard for me to comprehend, even as you're talking, that I'm like, wouldn't the kid just figure it out eventually? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he's going to see it at some point, but then I think, but you have to think about it in their developmental stage. Right. Because if they pass that stage and they move on to the next, right. It's like how they always say, like, learning a language is easier as a kid. Right. Like, it's so much harder. Or learning an instrument. Like, you want to do that stuff as a kid because your brain's still, like, developing and you're not full grown. Yeah. So that's interesting. It's like, it's, I don't know. It's not like a pressure of, like, you have to do it in this time or it's never going to work. But, like, you have to
it's
grow.
It's a prime time.
It's a critical and you
period.
have to grow with the child.
Yep. Yeah, you do. Well, you need to be attuned to where they are. Yeah. And so what you were saying earlier, I thought of when you were talking about, like, the 5 foot, fourth grader. Yeah. And the expectations, whether you're the caregiver, whether you're the teacher, whatever, like, you could see this child and you could think, well, when I look at them, I see, a kid that looks maybe the size of a middle schooler. And so my expectations of this child are that they maybe are more organized than they should be, that they, and that would go to maybe cognitive development, right? Yeah. That they are, that when they are upset that they wouldn't be crying or, being emotionally dysregulated, that they would be able to do that well on their own. Right. But maybe they haven't figured all that out yet. Yeah. And maybe that started early because maybe they've always been big for their age. Yeah. And so maybe their parent has tended to look at them and see a child who they have expectations of that don't really fit with development. So it's important, and this is something that we'll kind of process through and talk about in this series, is it's important to pace your parenting with the developmental stage where your child is. Yeah. And actually being attuned to, what's expected at this time for kids in their age on a range for each domain. And then, what does my particular child need that, maybe they should be farther along than they are, but for whatever reason they're not. Yeah. So how do I
help them? Yeah. How do I help them get there?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think no one would say, like, I'm going to parent a 16-year-old the same way I parented a 5-year-old. No. And like, that's a socially, culturally, like, known thing, Yeah. And that's where you see, like, those weird TV shows of, like, their mom still treats them as if they're a baby, and, like, like those, like, weird, strange cases. Yeah. And it's so appalling, right? Yeah. You're just like, why? What on earth? Like, you have some sort of mental issues. TV. Yeah, it's like reality TV where it's like some random case of strange situations like that. Yeah. And that's why it's so strange. Like, that's why it's so entertaining, is because you're like, that's weird. Yeah. Why would you do that? So we recognize that that's like an obvious thing, but it's especially hard, I think, the younger it is, to find those transition stages, and even the older stages as you transition from a teenager to, like, an adult. Yeah. Figuring out the balance of how to parent. And I think that's something that we've experienced recently, of just trying to figure out how do I go from, like, living with you, and now I'm living on my own, and what does that look like? How do we still have a relationship that isn't necessarily me living under your roof? And like, I'm not having to tell you where I'm going all the time. Yeah. Like, things like that are really simple, but there was still a transition phase in that, and we're still transitioning out of that, Yeah. And what that looks like
what
now.
What is supporting you at this stage?
Yeah. Versus what you was how you were supporting me, 2 years ago, even. Right. Like, that was a quick turnaround.
Oh yeah.
Of you having to help me, like, not crash out because I got a bad grade on a test.
Yeah.
Versus me, now trying to figure out, how do I go get groceries? My first grocery run alone.
Do you want to purchase?
What ramen noodle flavor should I get?
And I'm like, oh, now you will eat ramen noodles because I remember
I never ate
you
ramen noodles.
would not eat them.
I would not. I refused.
And I'm like, I loved them when I was a
kid.
No,
they're good. They're good. I just was like, no, I'd much rather have a hamburger or something. I'm like, no, I can't afford a hamburger. I have to go get ramen.
I remember this is a side note, but I was talking to one of our friends the other day, and she was like, I told Presley that I know that you have lived a privileged life because you don't know how to make random stuff to eat, or you don't know how to eat.
I'm thankful for that. Yeah, it's eat like
construct
a meal. Yes. Well, she
nothing.
was telling me, she was like, you just need to put some cheese on a tortilla, and that's what your meal's got to be, or go get some peanut butter and some bread and make peanut butter sandwiches. And I'm like, huh. This is interesting. Yeah. I'm very thankful that I never did have to live like that. I'm sure you had to live more like that as a kid than I did.
I
right?
ate a lot of ramen.
Yeah, you ate a lot of ramen.
Very creative meals. Yes.
Very creative meals.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I did get even more creative whenever I lived on my own, because I remember a season where I just had pickles and cheese. That's basically all I had. And I just ate a lot of pickles and cheese. And I don't know. I just couldn't wrap my mind around making a meal of any kind. And I don't think I really made a meal until I was married. And then bless Daddy's
I still
heart
haven't
that I
made
had
a
to
real
figure
meal.
that out. Yeah, I think you have. Didn't you make spaghetti one time for us?
Yeah, that's literally pouring out sauce out of a can, though.
A jar.
I don't think that counts.
I do think I had to walk you through it. You can make a pumpkin roll really well.
I can make a really good pumpkin roll.
And cookies and stuff. You
I
can
make
make
good
sweets.
Cookies. Of course I know how to make those.
Because you're
yeah,
I want
actual
that.
food, not so much.
Tacos? You haven't made tacos?
I've made tacos. But again, that's just getting meat brown and then putting taco seasoning on it. That's not very complicated.
Oh man.
That should go on my bingo card.
You're seeing in real time that how I haven't supported Presley well enough in the area of
cooking.
But now
I did not have to eat. I never had to eat tortilla and cheese, or
maybe you should have.
Maybe I should have. I never had to eat those kinds of meals, and I'm very thankful for that. But
okay,
yeah.
Well, we digress. Like we do. Okay. But all that to say that pacing parenting with development is very important, because when you don't, it can really undermine trust in the relationship, because there can be expectations on the child where they can feel like whatever I'm doing is not good enough or not enough. And I've certainly done that too. It's not like I've always perfectly paced my parenting with where my kids were. And there are times whenever I haven't attuned to where they actually were in different areas. And I needed to take a step back and be like, okay, what is it that they're actually needing here? And where are they maybe in their social development or in their emotional development? What do they need me to support here that maybe they should be there in terms of age wise? And maybe I have this, maybe on paper, it looks like they should be able to do X, Y, or Z. I definitely saw some of this after COVID in particular, because I think there was some backpedaling developmentally on some stuff.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
For a lot of kids.
For a lot of people, especially
parents. Yeah. And then it's well, where are we?
Because where you should be, you haven't even had the opportunity to grow.
Get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Because of COVID.
Right. Because then development happens in the context of different relationships.
Yeah.
Starts with parenting relationships and then should branch out into other relationships as the child grows. But then that goes to, what we'll talk about. What do you need in middle school, and what do you need in high school, and how can parents support those kinds of relationships happening where development can continue in ways that it needs to, outside of that direct relationship between you and your child.
And I think that's what's going to be cool about this series too, is the way we're doing it is, for one, we're just giving it as much time and space it needs. Like we have no set limit on how many episodes we're going to do on this, or how much time we're going to spend on that. We're not really concerned about that, because I think we both see like how important it is that you like really, you can just sit in it, sit in what does this look like. And so we're kind of going to take each developmental stage one by one. So like the infancy, and then like elementary school age and middle school, and then those might even be broken up into sections, because like we were talking about the other day, like you could say like 0 to 5 is
there's so much happening.
So much development. I mean, think of like you're having to like learn a language, learn how to walk, learn how to like be around people. Like so much is happening in that stage. So
you're going from birth to now I'm sitting in kindergarten. Yeah. In that amount of time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it really is strange, like how each one transitions, and like, I mean, it just each transition from each phase is interesting too. Even from middle school to high school. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I think it can be hard for parents too, is like something to like that I feel like people my age, like whenever we would talk about parents, like a lot of the times it would come up like, well, my parents don't want to give me this independence, or it's frustrating to me that they won't let me do this, or my mom kind of just leaves me alone, doesn't really talk to me. And like, I would hear so many different ranges just talking to my friends of like what their parenting style was like. Especially like, I think I'm even just like serving in kids classes at church, you hear a lot about like, what was that the other day at our Christmas Eve service? Like kids love talking about their parents. Our Christmas Eve service, we had this girl go like, my mom's 33 from the middle of the audience, and we were all just dying. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. Like, and she just so proud. Like, I know she was so proud. I know. And then I think the same girl was like, it's my grandma's birthday.
She's like, I just want to share it.
I know. And so you have like this pride when it comes to your parents. And, and I think that speaks to probably that girl's relationship with her parents and her family. But yeah, it's just so interesting. I think of all the times I remember talking with my like classmates from all ages, even in elementary school, and being like, well, my mom's like a dentist, and like, you know, there's like the way they talk about parents, and then how it transitions to middle school and how you talk about your parents. And it's more of like an oppressive kind of thing.
You
would not believe what my mom made me do, or like my mom won't let me do this. And you know, you especially like with hanging out with friends and stuff like that, like, no, that person can't spend the night. I can't do this stuff. And then high school, you hear more of like, well, my mom won't just won't let me be independent and like do my own stuff. And so it's just interesting too how like I feel like I also have thought of you guys like as my parents throughout the years too.
Oh yeah, how that's changed.
Yeah, how that's changed and evolved. And so yeah, like that. And I think it aligns with the development as well. Yeah. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, it does.
Is like the way that you were designed by God to develop aligns with, like, you experience it real time. Like this. I think as we go through these, I think each person's going to be able to recognize in themselves, oh yeah, I remember doing that. Or I remember that makes sense, you know. That makes sense why I was like that in that time. You know, could even bring clarity to maybe you didn't understand why you were feeling, I don't know, like, I remember in middle school, I was really angsty. And just really just was like, oh, I don't, you know, just, I had a really hard time in middle school, and like, that's that's like developmentally where you're at. And so I think it just brings a lot of clarity to why you are the way you are. And it can almost be relieving, like freeing to like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is okay. And for parents too, if you're expecting your kid to be further along or not as far as, it's okay that there's not one right answer.
Right.
Like that can be a freeing experience. It doesn't have to be something that's a hard and fast rule.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can be, I think it's important also even think about, and we'll talk about this as well, but like understanding what is expected developmentally can help you understand, is this a developmental issue? Is this something like that's more mental health related? What do they need spiritually? Where are they, and how can I support them in that way too? Because that's not something that science looks at as a developmental domain, but it is absolutely how God created us to work through a process. And we see in scripture too that God looks at our our process in growing in Him as also developmental.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He loves the development. He loves the process. Mm-hmm. He's like, I think he's a big fan of that.
And in relationship.
Yeah.
Because it's all about his heart for us is that we would be in relationship with him, we were made for relationship with each other. And there's a reason why development happens in the context of relationship. And whether that is our, physical development or social, emotional, language, cognitive, spiritual, all that development happens within the context of relationship
with the Lord.
Yeah, with the Lord, with each other. Yeah. And this is by design.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Especially in talking, like, there's a lot of scripture, and this is the one I thought of. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of scripture that even likens, like, especially, you hear the term baby Christians.
Yeah.
That, like, that is scriptural in a lot of ways. I mean, it says in 1 Peter 2, it says, like newborn infants long for the pure spiritual milk, that by it you may grow up into salvation.
Yeah.
So it's literally like this, it's that spiritual maturity,
Yeah.
And like we think of spiritual maturity a lot of the times in like he's immature or he's mature.
Yeah.
And maturing as a word is just to grow up into something.
Yeah.
To mature. Like you are reaching maturity.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I think it's really beautiful that God. I mean, and it's even like as you are born again,
mm-hmm.
you do become like a spiritual baby, know?
Yeah.
And like the longer you spend with the Lord, the more He's able to. I mean, that's where it comes in, like, each according to the measure of your faith. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I mean, your faith probably isn't super deep if you just accepted Jesus into your life because you haven't had that history with Him.
Right.
You haven't seen Him work over and over and over again.
Right.
And that's by design.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where it comes in too, of like introducing Jesus to kids at a young age. They get to grow up with Jesus,
mm-hmm.
which is so beautiful. Like they get to stand by Him, like, and He stands with them through every season of their life, whether they recognize it or not.
Yeah.
Like we are growing up into the Lord,
absolutely, into
our salvation.
Yeah. And there's something that God has for your kids at every stage in their development. Mm-hmm. There is, I think we miss it. Unfortunately, a lot of times, like within even within the church, within our parenting, where we kind of are expecting that, like, okay, when they become adults, they'll be able to have this
real Jesus moment.
Yeah, this strong relationship with Jesus. But God has things on offer for your children now, and we as parents can learn about and see how God has designed them. Wherever they are, uniquely design them to start walking in their faith early and learning about Him and knowing Him at a young age, and stepping into their calling and into their purpose that God's created them for, early on in their lives. And there's not there's not a need for waiting until they get to a certain age, until they get married or whatever, and that God just has more for them in that, in every season, in every stage. Yeah. So that's exciting. I'm so excited to talk about all this. Too. I think it's going to be so helpful. That's the hope, is that this is just life-giving for all of you, and gives you clarity and answers where you need it, and that God speaks to you through this. Our prayer before we even started this today even was just that my prayer is just that God would be, revealing to you things just as you're listening that maybe we're not even speaking, but that He is going to, just bring to your mind and into your hearts and awaken in you as you're considering these things. Maybe, like Presley was saying, things that give you clarity about your own life, maybe things that give you clarity about your parenting, about your children and where they are. And we think God's going to use it and do what He wills. Yeah. So that's our prayer.
Absolutely. Yeah. So next 2 weeks, we'll be back again talking about that early stage of life from the womb.
Yep.
When they're fresh out the oven.
Right out the oven. Still hot off the press.
So hot off the press. And who knows how much where we'll go.
Yeah.
It's going to be
great.
Know.
We're going to be along for the journey.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much.
We're excited to see where this goes, and
again, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Make sure to follow us on Instagram or find us on YouTube. We got stuff on there.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Smash that like button.
Subscribe. Oh my goodness.
Don't smash that like button. You can just press it gently.
Yeah. Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, don't hurt yourselves. But thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you next time.